I didn't sit there and listen to every single word, but I did see it. And at the end of it, my impression was she's pushing at certain things, but there was no evidence there that says this actually happens, right? I'm going in looking to see what evidence is there that Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk's wife were involved in his murder. I didn't get that from that. If people got it from that, just tell me, give me a timestamp to tell me like, this is the breakdown proof, because I just didn't see that. So slammed over a new series that investigates Erika Kirk to prove. Now, I got to say this. For all the people out there who are going to attack us because Candace is insane. This is lunatic stuff, right? And I'll even go into legally why I believe she's just going totally off the deep end. You know, she's essentially acting like nothing on the other side here when she does have a non-disparagement agreement with these people. But regardless of even all that, you know, for Officer Tatum, who is one of Candace's close friends, he says this is BS. Shapiro, like even Alex Jones, who is Mr. Conspiracy Theory,
he's been after her.
Got us like, yo, what's going on? You know, like you got a problem, Candace. So if for those people who continuously say that she's providing something, I think she's found a niche, and her niche is drama. And her niche is, unfortunately, I can tell you lies and just say I didn't say them later, or I can coach my lies in innuendo and just pretend that I really didn't say it if I didn't say these exact words. And I think that, and it works. It's been working. That's why she has so many loyal fans. And then as soon as you point to, okay, give me the one or two things that you can explain, you know, what she's trying to say, they can't do it.
And La Chad is bringing up a good point. Nick Fuentes, of all people, is calling her crazy. And Nick is no friend of shall we say Zionists or Jews, but I did want to share, and I pulled up, this is the response to the New York Post article. So again, I want to let you know her own words, people's words, her spokespeople's words speak for themselves, not me. Quote, "We have no comment. The series will speak for itself, and you can watch the premiere episode Wednesday," a spokesman for Candace Owens told the Post when asked about the backlash to the trailer. An Owens spokesperson later sent over a separate statement to the Post. Quote, "LOL. There isn't any backlash outside of the Zionist bubble, which has no influence. People are excited to watch, and we're looking forward to presenting what we've discovered about Mrs. Kirk," the spokesman said. So at this point, just with what I'm saying, and because I want to get into the other part, this is full on an attack on Erika Kirk, correct?
Oh yeah.
It's not implication. It is war.
She is evil and she's got issues. I watched that video. I didn't see any text message, any money trail. I didn't see anything that essentially she sold me at the beginning of, hey, I'm doing this because this person is running $1 billion corporation and I should be able to expose them. Okay, let's do the expose. And the expose was shit. It got 1 million views in one day. It was funny because somebody was like, "You're just jealous of the kid, and the kid has got 1 million views in one day." I'm like, I get videos that get 1 million views in one day. You know, matter of fact, my best video, I think it got like 2 or 3 million views in one day. So it's, you know, it's like, all right, well, maybe that's the case. But at the end of the day, just point to us, like the people who are in the chat who are mad, just point to us the evidence, right? Say, okay, here's a piece of evidence that Candace, and matter of fact, I'll say this, Candace has pointed to evidence before. She said, there's the evidence, right? Knocked down. And then 20 minutes later, she'll say, I never said that.
Oh, you mean Egyptian jets and wrong time zones?
Yeah, it's like people just don't want to acknowledge that. I don't know if it's appropriate to say she's lying, but she's obviously misleading people with some of the facts. Now, maybe she's diffused in some of these conversations, but don't we have the video rundown, right, of all her different. Oh,
well, I have that right? One, but you know what? This is, somebody sent me this on the side. I don't know if you have it pulled up. We'll call it a Candace Owens allegory. I don't know who originally wrote it. I would absolutely give credit if I knew who did it. Somebody sent it to me and they literally said they don't know who wrote it, but it kind of describes how a lot of people view a Candace investigation. And the basic story is Candace Owens returning a toaster at Walmart. So if you're ready, Nate, we'll go through a little bit of play acting. I think a little play acting is always fun to do. So,
and we're doing this to explain what, just to be clear.
Well, this is what we perceive Candace Owens' presentation and investigations consists of. If you will, it's an allegory or an analogy, because obviously she probably didn't return a toaster to Walmart. But this is if Candace Owens, the way she presents things on the internet, were returning a toaster to Walmart, here's what it probably would look like.
Okay,
And
so
I'll
here it
play
is.
Candace.
Go ahead, play
you know,
Candace.
it's a stretch for my dramatic skills. Obviously, I look a little different, and I'm not as talented, to be honest. She's very talented.
Oh no, she's fantastic. For people, I just want to make it very clear. Candace is fantastic broadcaster. She is special when it comes to doing what she does. So her talent for this medium, we're not taking that away. We're just saying we believe that what she's doing is pretty troubling. But go ahead.
All right, I'd like to exchange a toaster. It stopped working.
I'm the Walmart person, so I'm saying no problem. Do you have the receipt?
Oh, I have the receipt.
Okay, go ahead. Let me get the receipt.
I'm just really trying to get a working toaster. I have evidence this one was broken at the factory.
Okay, I understand. So where's the toaster?
I have someone holding it safe until the right time.
Okay. Well, obviously, we need the toaster if you're returning a toaster, right?
Trust me, it's coming. I have the receipts too.
Well, we haven't seen any receipt, proof of purchase, or the toaster, so,
Random person in line. She has the receipts. I believe her.
Well, then let me see it then, right? Let me see it.
I have a big update on proof that this toaster was broken at the factory.
All right, listen, you're at Walmart. Okay, what's that?
I just received a tip from another random person in line that on the same block of the factory where this toaster was made, there is a store across the street that also sells microwaves. And guess what? Both store managers have a child named Robert. Think that's a coincidence?
I make $10 an hour at Walmart service desk. Okay. You got to give me something else.
Another random person. She definitely has the receipts. You could tell she's telling the truth. I always bring the receipts.
Listen, ma'am, you don't have the toaster. You don't have the receipt. We're here at Walmart. I got a whole bunch of people waiting in line. We're done. Where can I help? Who's next in line? Because without a receipt and without the toaster, you got nothing.
And scene.
But you know what? It's funny because watching it, it's so hard not to take the bait that there's something here. Because when watching it, especially in the beginning, she does such a great job of setting everything up, of getting you on that emotional, pulling your emotional heartstrings, talking about, and she's right a lot of stuff she's saying. Why can't I call her out? Why can't I do this? Well, number one, because you have a non-disparagement agreement. That's the reason why you shouldn't be calling her out. But let's just put that aside. Matter of fact, we should talk about that because that's going to be an issue, right? The non-disparagement agreement.
Candace has been claiming Erika Kirk was behind the murder of Charlie, which I had not heard. And I was...
Remember, this is before she just kind of came out of the straight, said it, but she was implying it heavily very much, right?
Sure she was.
So, and then Megan was like, what she did, because they were hiding behind the implication.
Yes.
Because Candace didn't say the exact words.
Correct.
Blah, blah. I believe Erika Kirk had Charlie Kirk killed. Since those words weren't spoken in that way, then that's why Megan was able to be a snake and sleaze her way out of it. So here's what she said, because she didn't hear those exact words. But as Ben Shapiro, who is now 1,000,000% vindicated, said, this is what she said.
Was behind the murder of Charlie, which I had not heard. And I was taken aback because that seems like something I would have heard. It's so crazy. And I have since learned it is not true. Candace has not made that claim. And in fact, I've now seen several clips of Candace specifically defending Erika Kirk and saying she would never make a claim like that about Erika, and that she is open-minded to other people at Turning Point. That's obvious.
I have trouble finding those clips.
I had heard that.
They haven't crossed my timeline.
But she's specifically been defending Erika Kirk. And she's been saying she does not think that of Erika. And in fact, if you read her comments, she's under pressure to make comments about Erika. And so far, what I've seen, she hasn't. So
now, that obviously didn't age well for poor Megyn Kelly. And then I like her excuse about why not calling out Candace because, she's a mother, blah, 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 blah.
Young mother,
So it's Ilhan Omar. So
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle, right? She had no problem calling them out when they started BS, right? But when it comes to Candace, well, I feel for her because she's a young mother. Well, damn. I wish she had those feelings with Meghan Markle. I wish she had those same concerns. I do want to point out that Ben Shapiro. Now, don't get me wrong. Ben Shapiro, I think, does a lot of crazy, like even his take on the Epstein files, because he's kind of taking that approach. Epstein files mean nothing. But Ben Shapiro, his response to Candace Owens. I agree with. So, and I agree with Offset Tatum's too. But here is Ben Shapiro. This is what he has to say about this whole thing.
As you may have heard me refer at the top of the show, is an evil, twisted human being Now, the reason I say that today is because Candace has spent the last several months
By the way, can you
attacking
pause?
the widow of Charlie Kirk, Erika Kirk.
I just want to say, because defamation is being thrown about here. Everything he said is technically not defamatory, correct? Because he said evil, which there's no legal standard. You can't personify it. Twisted human being. So technically speaking, Nate, as a lawyer, was any of that statement defamation?
No, these are opinions.
Okay,
So
well, that's what I
evil
wanted
is,
to put it out.
so we're talking about, subjective opinions. If he said, so it's got to be, remember, defamation has to be false. And plus, even it has to be false, it has to be put to a third party. There's a whole bunch of rules. But number one, opinions are totally protected. And opinions, especially against public figures, are automatically protected. Unless he says she's committing crimes. If he said that she committed murder or makes some type of factual claim like that, then you're in a space where you're like, but these are all opinions. She's evil. Just like they say Trump is evil or Biden is evil. He's dumb. That's it. And you have to have actual malice to say this. So I think he's good. I think he's more than good.
All right. And he is a lawyer from
It took her
Harvard.
just a few days after Charlie's sick murder in order to start casting aspersions at Turning Point USA, people who work there, all the way up to the highest levels, up to and including Erika Kirk. She was doing that very, very quickly. And she's been doing it for months. I mean, truly for months.
Right, Ben.
Yesterday, she came out with something that she had announced she was doing, which is a series. This is a trailer for a series, a teaser trailer that is titled Bride of Charlie, which is supposedly now an expose on the evil, nefarious, predatory nature of Erika Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, who again was shot in the neck, not by some sort of vast conspiracy involving French intelligence and Egyptian airplanes, but by a trans-loving gay man who is a furry. That is the actual story. And because Candace Owens is either going through the throes of mental illness or because she is a sick human being, or both, she has decided that she is going to turn her fire on the widow. Don't believe me? I know. Listen, there are a lot of people who listen to Candace. She has a huge audience. This is what she does. This is who she is. She's a conspiratorial, evil person, because that's who would do something like this. A conspiratorial, evil person. Now, the only reason that I'm playing this trailer is so you understand the extent of the evil. Watching Candace stitch together a bunch of specious nonsense because they like the gossip of it, because they enjoy the tawdry, Maury Povich silliness of it.
Maury.
Because they're watching a car crash at the side of the road. Please have some more respect for your own brain than that.
He goes into saying people should stop watching Candace. Now, I don't agree with that. Like, I watched because I was interested in the story. I watched. I was one of those, it was like 200,000 people watching live when I was watching, right? I watched because I wanted to see, like, she had done a good job of preparing me. Like, this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to do. And this, so I watched for the entertainment value. And I do think there is entertainment value. And people who say there's no entertainment value, matter of fact, her show is more entertaining than Ben's show. Probably more entertaining than my
more
show.
Viewers.
I would say I watched it, but I'm not going to sit here and say there was anything that was there that was substantive. It was all BS. And as a lawyer, my whole thing is like, she's got a conscience and she can't say that crap. So what's the end game here?